I'm not going to chase an award. And I think that the minute I start doing something for an award, it's over. It's over. And I think that, you know, it is what it is. I'm not gonna. I don't want to go into it.
Let's listen to John Legend. Mm-hmm. What he said. He's talking about Selma too in his acceptance speech for the song "Glory."
Right.
Listen.
We wrote this song for a film that was based on events that were 50 years ago, but we say that Selma is now because the struggle for justice is right now. Yeah. We know that the voting rights, the act that they fought for 50 years ago is being compromised right now in this country today. We know that right now, the struggle for freedom and justice is real. We live in the most incarcerated country in the world. There are more black men under correctional control today than were under slavery in 1850.
The Washington Post said there is a disturbing truth to what Legend is saying. They quote, it's not necessarily an equal comparison, but there is some truth. What's your reaction hearing that?
Yes, God. You know, that I agree with. And it's a damn shame.
Why so?
I just think that, you know, when half of my relatives, and I mean half of my relatives, are in jail, some of them unjustly so. When my son calls me up from a 7-Eleven who went to an all-white high school, and he says, what's going on? Why are they watching me? And I have to have that conversation with him, and it's more disturbing than the sex conversation. And I gotta tell him why.
What do you say to him?
It's painful. It's painful. It's very painful. I blocked it out. You're different. Welcome to being a black man. It's the ugliest conversation I've ever had. The ugliest conversation, Don, it was the ugliest conversation I've ever had.
When I say what I say often when you say welcome to being a black man, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't carry and hold yourself in a certain way. But that's part of it. That's all part of it. But it's an
he doesn't know how not to, you know, because what happens is that he's grown up in a way that, you know, he has two dads, one black, one white. He don't know. He really don't know, you know, and so he's taking it back when he's singled out. He's confused by it, and that disturbs me.
And it's even goes home with you, but closer to your heart because your father was a police officer, still in the line of duty, correct? Mm-hmm. So you see, I'm sure, do you see both sides of it, the dangers of being a police officer and also the danger of excessive force from being a police officer as it comes to Eric Garner, as it comes to other cases in the news?
I do. We grew up loving the police. We were told, I mean, I think it's because my dad was a cop. We grew up, the police, and they were helpful. They were helpful, certainly. Even in the midst of movement in Philadelphia, and it was crazy. But there was this, they were still helpful. I have mixed feelings about the police.
Do you think things have changed since the time when your dad was a police officer, since the time of the movement?
No. I think that, I'm still pulled over. In Beverly Hills, I'm still pulled over. I remember being pulled over going to my first award show we were nominated for 2 Oscars for Monsters Ball, and I almost didn't make the Oscars because I got pulled over in Beverly Hills. And I said, I'm in a tux, check the glove compartment, I gotta go. And I almost missed the Oscars.
Hey, but you won that night. Hollywood.
Did.
Yeah.
Did make history. There's some bitter juice. There's some bitter sweetness.
She was the first.
Yeah.
She was the first. Do you, in that though, when you think about what's happening in the black, what is the black community, right? When we say the black community, do you think that's the biggest issue facing the black community? Police brutality or racial profiling?
Yes.
You do?
I do.
Even more than people killing themselves? Than crime?
Yeah, I do. I think that it starts with feeling inferior. It starts with feeling nothing. It starts with how you are treated by the world, and that affects you, and having nothing to lose, and that affects you and everything. Yeah.
We're going to talk about half your stuff, and so you're so honest. Thank you.
That's really a Debbie Downer.
No, but it's good. It's important for people to hear that, especially people of your influence. Maybe your stature. I think it's important for people to hear. you're speaking the truth. But don't go anywhere, because we're going to come right back, and I'm going to talk about his new hit show, Empire, and its stories ripped from the headlines and from hip-hop. Don't go anywhere.